Look at something that's happening around you. Do you know if it's for real? Do you really know whether it's good or bad? Our collective worldview is built by what we see around us. What we see and what we learn influences who we are and how we behave. 20 years of working with young people in design and media and education have shown me the immense influence that both cinema and education have on viewpoints. Independent or parallel cinema makers the world over are taking the lead and changing social constructs. Independent educators too are innovating with new ideas and bold thoughts. But where does that power come from? What makes media and education so influential? It's one word: representation. Here are some examples from media of around 20 years ago. Can you imagine? The first two advertisements are for shoes and trousers, very clearly representing the role of a woman. The paint ad is definitely racist, and the pear image represents ideal body sizing. What do you think happens to society when it is repeatedly told of these stories of ideal color, race, sexual choices, shape, etc.? What about these images? Our gorgeous hunk Hrithik Roshan and the dashing cast of the Baywatch TV serial? What are the messages you see? Could this affect your perception of beauty? This is the representation of the world, and you don't need to think hard to imagine the impact images and words like these could have on the viewer and society at large. Aristotle discussed representation in three ways. He talked about the object, that is the symbol being represented, the manner, the way the symbol is represented, and the means, the material that is used to represent it. We apprehend reality only through representations of reality. There is no such thing as direct access to reality. So, who are the magicians who can create this reality for us? Today, we're looking at two powerful mediums that make a strong case for positive representation: cinema, including TV and OTT, and education. Let us look at some parallels between cinema and education. Cinema has the power to start conversations, and education has the capability of instigating discourse. Cinema has the power to create a catharsis, and education too can settle thoughts and aid catharsis. Both cinema and education center around the audience or the student and have a power to influence and change. The storyteller's role, whether the director or the teacher, is to make meaning of the message, meaning of the world, and communicate that convincingly to the audience. And both cinema and education have the responsibility to treat their messaging and audience with care. Let's take a look at cinema and conscious representation. Cinema, once created for entertainment, has had a far-reaching impact on changes in society and has represented today's state, the issues of today, and today's politics. It in turn influences the way society sees itself and the way we lead our lives. In any form of representation, one has to be conscious of the power of the seer and the power of the seen, what the scene is doing, what the story is that's being told, and how that influences and impacts society. Representation works like a magical game, conditioning the feeling of truthfulness, the imaginative engagement, and finally, spectators' culture. The study of the relationship between cinema and education and representation is essential and inspiring in a world like today when economic crisis, freedom, justice, and world health issues dominate the global scene. Independent cinema has been and is always making conscious choices and gaining viewership. Deepa Mehta's Fire was about the politics of sexuality. Her Earth was about the politics of nationalism, and her Water about the politics of religion. Sir, which is running on Netflix right now, is about deconstructing and reconstructing love between a highly educated man and his house help. Ali, Fear Eats the Soul, is a beautiful German film that tackles racism. And Whale Rider, a great film from New Zealand, includes the local tribal narrative and addresses feminism. Margarita with a Straw takes a bold look at disability and sexual choices. Yes, independent cinema has effectively focused on caste disparity, domestic violence, racism, single motherhood, child abuse, choice, displacement, and same-sex relationships. These films have influenced the way each of us sees these issues, leading to changes in our mindsets, new social norms, and even policy and laws. The good thing is that today commercial cinema is too taking the cue. Ek Ladki Ko Dekha To was the first Bollywood commercial movie about a closeted lesbian coming out to her traditional Punjabi family. Gully Boy looked at the Muslim identity in India, poverty, modernization, class divide, and had a strong woman lead. Black Panther had a full black cast and went on to win Oscars. And I Feel Pretty saw a strong portrayal of body positivity and feeling pretty from inside. In fact, in 2015 and 16, all nominees for Best Actor at the Oscars were white. But this has changed. In September last year, the Academy Awards put out a representation and inclusion standards for eligibility for the Oscars. This means that all films applying must have people in minority groups, including actors, production crew, and the entire set. Yes, cinema influences society and has now become conscious of it. But what about education, you may say? You will agree that education plays a vital role in creating a world view in the minds of the student. What the students see and perceive about the world around them, positively or negatively, shapes their expectations for themselves and for each other. This is influenced by their teachers, their learning environment, and their classmates. Diverse teachers, diverse leadership, diverse education cultures create higher expectations, healthier communities, and better outcomes for students and teachers. These outcomes impact not only the students, but their families, their villages, and the companies in which they will go out to work. Representation in education is important and comes from the diversity of the teachers and students in the class, what they learn and how. Education must take the lead. Education must lead industry. Education has to be conscious of the changing worlds and continuously work to stay contemporary. It has to focus on the world of today and the possibilities of tomorrow. Representation in education can be through diversity, through content in storytelling, and by stimulating the student to reflect on current issues. This leads to a reconceptualization of the world in the student's mind. At Pearl Academy, where I work, our policy is to empower young people to be more inclusive, more respectful, accepting of differences, conscious of privilege, and we urge them to study and represent the issues facing the world today. And some of the outcomes are powerful. Here are some of the work of my students from this last year. A Movie Behind the Hills by Abhinav Khandwal talks about his hometown in Himachal and how it has been impacted by migration. Gagandeep Plaha and Gagan Goyal have questioned gender stereotypes and gendered fashion. Samiksha Gupta has explored body positivity. And Nidhi, with her illustration, has looked at inclusivity through color and body type. Supriya, My Mother, is a movie by Tanmay Bhatnagar where she talks about her mother who's schizophrenic and how she learned to accept her condition. If you look at these projects, you will see that yes, they are representing society, But more importantly, what is happening is that young people are choosing to represent themselves, and that is the way ahead, and it is exciting. Participatory art and cinema, especially in identity and politics, has created a space for communities and individuals to represent themselves using a camera. Through their voice, they project their view of their community. This method has democratized representation and could take on new meaning in the future. In the classroom too, things have changed. Students have an increased power to learn and to decide what they want to learn and do. The teacher's role is no longer to give information, but to empower them to design and develop their learning specific to each one's context. This learning then is shared through collaboration and leads students to produce individual and group outcomes which have a broad impact. Representation is now in the hands of the represented, leading to immense opportunities. There are, though, critical questions about the rights and responsibilities of representation and how it may shape future societies, the quality of communication and potential misuse under the wrong control. But when I look at young people today and the ownership they take of their lives, of the world they aspire for, the road ahead looks hopeful and enabling. Yes, society will always struggle for a better tomorrow, and we should. Still, powerful tools like representation, consciously used in educators' hands and the media, can have a far-reaching impact. Imagine if all educators and all creative professionals take a stand on positive representation of gender, of religion, of economic access, of sexuality, of privacy, of child labor. The speed of impact will be multifold, and indeed, we will leave this world a better place for generations to come.